All right, so this is your 6.1b notes. It's about the rock cycle. This will just be one video that will cover your entire notes, unlike the last one that was split into 3 sections. So what is the rock cycle? The rock cycle is like any cycle, like the water cycle. There's no beginning, there's no end. Something can change into something, and sometimes it can skip steps. So the rock cycle is the process by which sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic rock changes from one type of rock into another type of rock based on varying conditions. So these conditions can be heat, it can be weathering, it can be pressure, all these different kinds of conditions that you learned about with how those different types of rock form. And like I said, there's no beginning or end to the rock cycle, and it takes millions of years for a new rock to form. So this does not happen overnight. This does not happen in any of our lifetimes. It takes millions of years for a new rock to form. Now we're going to look at how each type of rock can turn into different types of rock. It can even turn back into the same type of rock that it is. So how can sedimentary rock change into another type of rock? Sedimentary to igneous. Sedimentary rock melts, turns into magma, and when magma cools, it becomes igneous rock. Sedimentary to metamorphic. So that sedimentary rock, it undergoes a lot of heat and pressure, but it does not melt, and then it becomes metamorphic rock. And then lastly, sedimentary to sedimentary. So that sedimentary rock becomes weathered. So remember, weathered means any type of weather. So if there's ice, there's rain, there's wind, that breaks it apart into sediment. And then that sediment erodes, which remember, erodes means that it's moving. So you're moving it from one place to another. So that sediment has been weathered and eroded, and then that sediment is compacted or squished together, and then it's cemented or glued to form sedimentary rock again. So metamorphic. So how can metamorphic rock change into another type of rock? You're going to see a pattern here. As long as these certain factors happen to it, then it's going to change into that type of rock. So how does a metamorphic rock turn into igneous rock? Well, that metamorphic rock melts, it turns into magma, and then when that magma cools, it becomes an igneous rock. So here we are with metamorphic to metamorphic. Metamorphic rock undergoes a lot of heat and pressure, but not too much heat where it'll melt, and then it becomes a different type of metamorphic rock. And then metamorphic to sedimentary. Metamorphic rock becomes weathered and eroded and creates sediment. And then that sediment is compacted and cemented to form sedimentary rock. Okay, lastly, igneous. So how does igneous turn into different rocks, types of rocks? So igneous to igneous. Igneous rock melts, it turns into magma, and then when that magma cools, it becomes igneous rock again. Igneous to metamorphic. Igneous rock undergoes a lot of heat and pressure, but again, not too much that it's going to melt it, and then it becomes metamorphic. And then lastly, igneous to sedimentary. So igneous rock becomes weathered and eroded, creating that sediment, and then that sediment is compacted and cemented to form sedimentary rock. So here's the rock cycle, and you can see that these arrows go all across the center because, as you saw, any rock can turn into any type of rock. So metamorphic rock, okay? So if we follow this and that metamorphic rock is weathered, it's going to turn into sediment, it's going to compact, and cementation is going to happen, and then it's going to turn into a sedimentary rock. And then igneous rock. So you've got an igneous rock, its heat and pressure has been added to it, and then it turns into a metamorphic rock. All right, so that's it. Oh, sorry. Make sure you fill in these orange circles on your notes. So you got igneous here, you got metamorphic, and you got sedimentary here. Go ahead and fill that in your notes. And then that's it for your notes video. you have a couple review activities in this Nearpod after this video.